Hi to all. Today we are going to see about the concept of monoalphabetic cipher. In my last class, I discussed about the Caesar cipher. I think you are all remember that what is Caesar cipher? It is a substitution technique. It follows the substitution technique. Each alphabet is replaced with another alphabet or a number or a symbol. That is the concept of Caesar cipher. Here, what is the drawback in the Caesar cipher is only there are 25 possible keys, so the attacker can easily retrieve the plain text from the key. The attacker can easily retrieve the plain text and the key from the Caesar cipher. So the another encryption technique is monoalphabetic cipher. Okay. So what is the meaning of monoalphabetic cipher? Here is it is also the type of substitution technique. But Caesar cipher is not secured because the key set consists only of 25 keys. As a result, brute force attacks are quite common in Caesar cipher. So, in order to enhance the security of the encryption, monoalphabetic ciphers are used. This monoalphabetic substitutions follows the permutations. In mathematics, you people are know about what is permutations. That is the combinations of set of combinations of numbers different. We can form a different set of combinations of numbers from the one set. Okay, that is the permutation. The monoalphabetic cipher uses. Before proceeding to the monoalphabetic cipher, we define the term permutation. What is permutation is of a finite set of element S in ordered sequence of all elements of S, okay, which each element appearing exactly once. For example, you can see in this page a set. S means the set equal to A, B, C. There are 3 letters, but by using the permutation, we can get 6 possible combinations of letters. Okay, this is called the permutation. In other words, we can tell us n factorial. N factorial means if n is 3, 1 into 2 into 3, that is 6 is the output of the 3 factorial. Okay, here the set, the value have the 3 values A, B, C, 3. So 3 factorial means 1 into 2 into 3, 1 into 2, 2, 2 into 3, 6. Okay, there are 6 possible combinations in this permutation. Okay, so recall the assignment for the Caesar cipher. In the previous class, I explained that the Caesar cipher replaces the each letter with another alphabet. Okay, here the A, from A the third letter here is D, so the A is replaced with D. So for the plain text A, D is the cipher text. Like that, each word have a cipher text. B has the cipher text E, C has the cipher text F, D has G, E, like that they up to Z. We define this cipher text in Caesar cipher itself. Okay. If instead the Caesar line can any permutation of the 26 alphabet characters, there are 26 factorial or greater than 4 into 10 power 26 possible keys are available in mono alphabetic cipher. Okay, in Caesar cipher there are only 26 possible keys, 25 possible keys in Caesar cipher, but in mono alphabetic cipher 26 factorial of keys are possible, or 4 into 10 to the power 26 possible keys are possible here. So compared to Caesar cipher, this is little bit secure than the mono alphabetic is little bit secure than Caesar cipher. Okay. But here in this mono alphabetic substitution cipher, there is another attack will be happen if the cryptanalyst knows the nature of the plain text. Nature of the plain text means if the plain text is in the English language without any compressed, non-compressed English language, if the cryptanalyst know the nature of the plain text, then the analyst can exploit the regulations of the language. In C-size cipher, brute force attack will easily analyze the plain text and the key, but in the mono-alphabetic cipher, another attack will happen. What is the attack means? If the cryptanalysts know the English language very well, that is the original English language is very well, then he could easily recover the cipher text, and he could easily recover the plain text from that corresponding cipher text. Okay, so if the cryptanalyst know the language, know the original language, that is non-compressed English language very well, the analyst can easily exploit the plain text from the cipher text. To see how such a cryptanalyst might retrieve the plain text from the cipher text is in this example, shown in this example. Here this is the little part of the cipher text. This is to be solved using mono-alphabetic cipher here. This is the cipher text. At the first step, the relative frequency of the letters can be determined and compared to the standard frequency distribution for English. Okay, because in English you can take some frequency of the letters is summarized here. You people are known, I think, the letter E is maximum used in the language English. Without the letter E, most of the words are making with the use of E only. Okay, so in this frequency you can see the letter E has the highest frequency. Next to the letter E, T has the highest frequency. This is the English. Now normal original English language have a frequency of letters. What is the frequency of the letters here is which letter is frequently used while we writing poems, letters and any books and all things. According to that, the survey is displayed here. The letter E is the most frequently used letters. Next to the letter E, then letter T is the most frequently used letter in English. Okay, and then the next frequency here is after that the letter A, then after the letter O. Okay, in this picture you can see the frequency of the letters in English. Like that, the lowest frequency here is the Z. Okay, Z has the lowest frequency because it was not frequently used in English language while writing as essays, letters, anything. Okay, here you can see this is the cipher text. Okay, cipher text means by using a substitution technique, the plain text was converted into a cipher text. This is shown here. According to this cipher text, in this table you can see which letter has the highest frequency. This is the cipher text shown here. According to this cipher text, this is the frequency level of the cipher text. For example, in the paragraph, the letter P, you can see the letter P is frequently used compared to the other letters. So the letter P has the frequency level of 13.33. Okay, according to the cipher text, letter P is the frequently used letter. Okay, but not in the English. Letter E has the highest frequency of letters. Okay, I shown you the picture. The tallest frequency level hit by E. Next to E, the letter T was the highest frequency level in English language. According to this cipher text, P has the highest frequency. Next to the letter P, Z has the highest frequency. That means Z compared to the letter P, Z was most frequently occurred in the cipher text. And then S and then U. Like that, letter R has the lowest frequency because it was not used frequently. It may be placed some other places. It was occurred in once or like that. Okay, but here the letter R, C, K has the zero frequency, so this was not placed here in the cipher text. Okay, up to J only, up to the letter J only has the frequency level. These letters doesn't have the frequency, so it was not used in this cipher text. Okay, can you understand, guys? First, frequency level of the English I was shown in the image. Next, this one is the frequency level of the cipher text according to this example. Okay, According to this example, P has the highest frequency and then Z. So the cryptanalyst uses this technique. By using the frequency level of the natural English, the cryptanalyst easily retrieve the plain text from this ciphertext. Okay, how they recover the plain text by using this ciphertext is by using this frequency analysis of the natural English language. First, it seems likely that the cipher letters P and Z are equivalent of the plain letters E and T. In the natural English language, the letter E and the letter T has the maximum frequency. Like that, in the ciphertext, the letter P and Z has the maximum frequency. Okay. By using this, the cryptanalyst searching the plain text. By wherever the letter P and Z are occur, the cryptanalyst uses the word E and T. For the letter P, the cryptanalyst use the letter E. For the letter Z, P means ciphertext, Z is ciphertext. Letter E and T are here the plain text. But here the cryptanalyst uses this plain text frequency matches the ciphertext frequency. Okay. And then the cryptanalyst uses the second most highest frequency letters. Okay. S, U, O, M and H are relatively next high frequency letters. That was replaced by the plain letters A, H, I, N, O or plain letters. Okay. This is the cipher letters. This is the plain letters. Okay. Then the lowest frequencies in the ciphertext are A, B, G, Y, I, J are likely included with B, J, K, Q, Z. Like that, the cryptanalyst easily matches the ciphertext and retrieve the plain text. Okay. Here the cryptanalyst know the language English very well. In the English language, the highest frequency letter is E and T. In the ciphertext, the highest frequency is P and Z. So, wherever P occur, the cryptanalyst replaces the P with E. Wherever the Z occurs, the cryptanalyst replaces with the text T, and easily like that, he easily find out the plain text. Okay. And then the another concept was used by the cryptanalyst is the frequency of two letter combinations known as diagrams, because in English you can take the most frequently used two letter is TH. Okay. Wherever TH is occurred, he uses the letter ZW. Okay. And then the another technique here used means the three letter word. The frequently used three letter word in English is THE. THE, three letter combination. And then the four letter combination is that. In English, two letters frequently used are TH. And then the second frequency of three letter is THE. And the third combination is THAT, that. Like, by using that criteria, the cryptanalyst find the ciphertext by using these combinations of letters and find out the plain text. Here you can see in this example, I already told for letter ciphertext letter Z, T is replaced. For ciphertext S, A is replaced. Like that, the cryptanalyst overall analyzes the letters and finally he find out the plain text. Okay, this is the above line is the ciphertext. The cryptanalyst know the English language very well. According to the English language frequency, English letter frequency, he trying various combinations of letters for Z, T, S, A. Like that, he replaces the word and he could able to retrieve the plain text from the ciphertext, and he got this plain text from the above ciphertext. Okay, so monoalphabetic ciphers are easy to break because they reflect the frequency data of original alphabet. So, by using permutations also, monoalphabetic ciphers are easy to break the code because monoalphabetic cipher uses the cryptanalyst uses the frequency of English language to break the code. Okay. So, I will explain you the next concept, Playfair cipher, in my next class. monoalphabetic. This is